Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Midweek War. We had a little bit of a scheduling snafu this week, so you got me, Mad Mike, here. I'm going to go over all the shows a little bit quicker than I normally do, but we're here to talk Impact Wrestling, and I just finished watching it, and oh boy, it was a show. I'm going to say my one word for Impact this week is overbooking. And I will get to why that is with probably pretty much everything I'm going to talk about. But my good for this week, I'm going to give my good, ironically, of course, to the Hardys. Not for their in-ring segment. I was not a big fan of the in-ring segment. I see. As much as I've enjoyed the stuff that takes place at the Hardy compound, I feel like there's going to be some kind of disconnect between the compound stuff that's all pre-produced and everything and the stuff that happens live in the impact zone. And I think we're starting to see the cracks in that right now. But the actual backstage segment, where Decay was calling out the Hardys, and then Vanguard 1 shows up with a laughing Senior Benjamin hologram. It was awesome. It was just great. There wasn't a lot of good on TNA this week, so I'm really kind of pushing it. The only other thing I'd say that was good for TNA this week was the backstage segment between EC3 and Moose, because EC3 talking is always a good segment. Also, I will say Lashley probably had the funniest line of the night. Lashley and Bennett teamed up to go after EC3, and then they had backstage segment because apparently there was a tag match tonight. And Bennett was like, "Oh man, that was awesome. Did we just become best friends?" And Lashley just deadpans him and says, "No, don't ever do that." So yeah, I mean, good on you, Lashley. That was actually pretty funny. But moving into my bad, lot to choose from. I'm gonna go with the Grand Championship because it's a mess. So as everyone in the world could have predicted, the main event, the match for the Grand Championship, is going to be Aaron Rex versus Drew Galloway. Shocker. We all knew this. But we finally had our first match that ended in a judge's decision. I've been asking for this, and TNA granted it to me. However, they granted it to me in the most TNA way possible. See, TNA does all of their graphics post tapings, naturally, as you do. I don't know if the commentary is recorded post tapings or if it's recorded live as the tapings are happening, but they show each judge's scoring for every round. There are 3 judges, 3 rounds, and they show Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3. And the fact that they showed us the judges before the match between Aaron Rex and Eddie Edwards, before Drew and Eddie Edwards, excuse me, just basically said, "Hey guys, guess what? This one's gonna go to a judge's decision." But so the first judge was, I think, did one for Drew, one for Aaron Rex. That's fine. One for Drew, one for Eddie Edwards. They point out that the second judge has voted for Drew has voted for Eddie Edwards in the first 2 rounds. They point this out. Okay? They don't point out that the third judge has voted for Drew Galloway both rounds. This becomes important later. So the third round goes to a time limit. And, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And it was very obvious who was going to win. They should have done this in the first round where it's less obvious. And maybe with, like, a match that doesn't involve Aaron Rex or Drew Galloway. Because we know they're winning. But the announcement is that the second judge scored everything scored 2 rounds to 1 for Eddie Edwards. clearly saw on the graphic that that wasn't true. So, and the third judge was scored for Drew Galloway, giving Drew the win. Also not true. They flipped them. And I mean, they want to build suspense because the third judge has the deciding round, but they did it wrong. Like, it's simple post production stuff. Like, there are ways to fix this, and it's just lazy. It's just lazy. Like, I'm sure the match at Bound for Glory will be fine. Not really excited for it because I think it's pretty obvious Aaron Rex is going to win because Drew's in the middle of a heel turn now. So, but yeah, it's just lazy booking, lazy production, lazy editing, lazy everything. It's lazy TNA. That should have been my word. It should have been lazy. But we'll go to my change. My change. Do I go with the knockouts? Do I go with the main event scene? I'll go with the main event scene. We had a tag match with Lashley and Bennett versus Drew and versus Moose and EC3. Full disclosure, I didn't actually watch the match. I wanted to get the podcast going, and I think we knew how it was going to end anyway. EC3 wins. Shocker. But then Moose and Bennett fought to the back, and EC3 and Lashley had a big pull apart brawl. Fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with that. They're beating up security. They're throwing security guards away. So X Division guys come out to break it up. Little weird considering Lashley insulted all the X Division guys and they should all be attacking him. But okay, fine. Let's say someone sent them out there to break him up. Okay, we'll go with that. Given a lot of rope here. Guess what's gonna happen with it? Then Billy Corgan comes out and he says that hey, this isn't how this is going down, which makes no sense at all because it wasn't like it was a botched finish or anything like that. He does not know how to run a wrestling show. He doesn't know what wrestling is. So he says that next week on the road to glory, whatever that means, we are going to get EC3 picking a team and Lashley picking a team. Whoever team wins gets to pick the stipulation. Okay. Slight overbooking, but okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can do it. And then he says it's lethal lockdown. Why? Why are you having a lethal lockdown match the week before your pay-per-view? Not even the week, 3 days. 3 days before your pay-per-view. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, and I swear, if Ethan's team is EC3, Moose, and like the Hardys, or if it's just separating Bound for Glory opponents and putting them in a cage, that is the worst idea you can ever do. That's probably what it's going to be, but it's the worst idea you can ever do. Like, I don't know. It's just going to be bad, guys. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be horrible. And Bound for Glory, shit, I don't even know what that's going to be. But let's talk about something that was okay on Impact. They had an X Division segment. DJZ continues to be awesome. He had a really great promo. Said the first time he won the X Division title, he was a jerk. He was immature. He didn't respect it. And now he does. So he wants to be a fighting champion. That was great. It's good. It was a good job. And he had a match with Trevor Lee. Perfectly fine match. Nothing wrong with it. And then Eddie Edwards came out and said, hey, he saved DJZ from a 2-on-1. Eddie was like, hey, guess what? I'm not obviously going to be the grand champion anymore. So I want the X Division title back. And they're going to have a match next week. Why it's not Bound for Glory, we'll never know. But yeah, so that was good. But then we get to the knockouts. The Knockouts feud is between Maria and Gail Kim. Not sure if you guys knew that, because if you were watching Impact and listening to the crowd, all you would hear is chanting for Allie, the most over person not named Ethan on Impact. I don't. They did this public workout thing with Maria. Okay, fine, I get it. That's a very heel move. It's okay. But then they had Gail Kim come out in a black ninja outfit doing Karate Kid moves, and it was just awful. And I'm pretty sure probably racist. It was just bad. It was just a bad segment. It's gonna be a bad match. It should be Allie's moment. It should be Allie. Allie's the one that's over. Allie's the one that they're actually pushing. But yeah, get ready for Gail Kim, your 6-time Knockouts champion and TNA Hall of Famer. That's gonna be fantastic. Let's see. Was there anything else that happened? Oh, Aaron Rex. Oh, actually, there is one more thing. Guess who else is gonna be at Bound for Glory? Bound for Glory. Cody, last name not given. If you don't know why that is, it's because Cody Rhodes is signed with TNA. However, because Rhodes is not his last name, is his character name in WWE, he is not allowed to use it. So they did a little promo package with him talking. Cody's very good. It's a fun promo package. I'm excited to see Cody. But they just call him Cody. Just call him Cody Runnels. Use his real name. There's nothing wrong with that. We know who the fuck he is. But yeah, it's gonna be weird because Cody's coming to TNA, but his wife, Brandy Rhodes, is also coming to TNA. So she can use the Rhodes nickname, but he can't. It's just call them Runnels. Everyone in the know, everyone who watches TNA knows what Dusty Rhodes' real last name is. Hell, you had Dustin Runnels on the show. You had Goldust, Black Rain, whatever. Ugh, whatever. I'm probably gonna watch Bound for Glory. I'm definitely not gonna pay for it. It's gonna be interesting. And we still have the Road to Glory next week, so that should be just a barrel of laughs. All right, rankings this week. Impact third. Not that you're surprised by this. Yeah, Impact is third. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So you can find me on Twitter at MadMike4883. Go to our Facebook group. Check out our Twitter page, where I will probably live tweet Impact next week with the hashtag MM. I didn't live tweet it this week just because I wanted to get through it real quick. But yeah, I should be live tweeting, and I'm definitely going to try and live tweet Bound for Glory whenever I get around to watching it. I will be watching it before we do the midweek war that week, but it's not appointment viewing. We'll put it that way. All right, so for myself, I guess this has been your midweek war.